minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Ron.
And welcome back. Appreciate y'all checking in as usual. And salute everybody out there.
Definitely.
All right, so today, I think it's just a perfect time to just catch up on a lot that's going on.
Facts.
So it's just a good time to just kind of take it in and give our thoughts about stuff. And I feel like a lot of stuff hit us in the last 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. You would say, yeah. 2 weeks in though. We'll talk a little bit about D-Max, Black Rob. Rest in peace to those guys. Both of them had a huge part of hip hop. One way or another. Made their mark. So salute to those guys. Definitely.
Of course, we want to talk about the Derrick Chauvin trial.
Yeah.
And I don't like to hear. And I think somebody said something on Twitter. I can't remember who it was. People were calling it like the George Floyd trial. They're like, George Floyd wasn't on trial. He was murdered. What do you mean?
Yeah, it got nothing to do with. I mean, yeah. It's perception. It's perception.
Right. Yep. So Snowfall, and also we're gonna get into a little music that's coming out, music that's we're looking forward to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So let's tap a little bit into Black Rob. Rest in peace to Black Rob. Prior to I guess the day after X died, and they had the post from Black Rob, laying in a hospital bed or whatever. I hadn't heard anything about Black Rob or from Black Rob in years, so I was kind of surprised to see him in that condition.
Yeah. I had saw something about him though. I saw him. I think it was on Sway in the Morning, maybe 6 years ago. And he was saying how he did suffer from. He had some health issues. I think he had a couple of strokes that he had mentioned before, in that time, if I'm not mistaken.
What happened? He said he had a couple of strokes.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of strokes and so forth. So I wasn't surprised. You know what I'm saying? But it was more out of sight, out of mind type of thing, unfortunately.
Right. All right. So I heard a bunch of different things. I feel like automatically everybody goes right to Puff, goes right at Puff. Yo, why isn't Puff, paying for his stuff? Why isn't, Puff making sure that he's good? What are your thoughts on
that? Well, I mean,
I don't think it's I kind of see both sides of it, but I want to see what you're going to say, and then I'll let you my perspective on it.
I think it's like a catch-22 with that, right? So we know when you sign a record deal, it always seems like with Bad Boy, it's always something going on like that. It's not just Bad Boy, but it's what it seems like.
Right.
What it is, right? So I think it's like, what have you done for me lately type of thing. So I think the older hip-hop artists that are not in their prime anyway, they don't really care about, and I mean as a whole, not just Black Rob, I mean just in general. So someone like Puff is the face of everything.
Right.
So we're going to look at him. You know what I'm saying? We're going to look at him like, yo, what's going on? What's up with the money? Like why? There's no reason why Black Rob makes millions for you and he's homeless or something like that. That should never happen. But if someone has their own demon, their own issues, it's on them too. You can only do so much. So I think Puff is a good scapegoat, but it seems to always happen and his name pops up with a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think some of it is warranted, some of it is not, because he's still so relevant. You know what I'm saying? But on the tail end, you don't hear anything about Master P's people like that.
Yeah.
So Master P said, he said you sign with no limit, you get a rollie, you get a car, and you get a house all in your name. That's big. Keywords in your name.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. How you
All right,
feel
so a
about
couple
that?
of things. At first, and I'm with you. It seems like something always happening, whether it's Shine. I'm not gonna say Big. People are throwing Big into the mix. I don't think that's fair to throw Big into that mix. Because Big had a whole situation going on with Pac and West Coast and all that. So I don't think it's fair to put Puffin in there. All right, so it's a couple things. One, we don't know what he did or if he did something. That's one. Yeah, so what I was saying about Puff is like you put Big. I don't know. People put Big in the mix. Sean, I understand. I think he more than likely put Sean in a terrible spot or whatever the case is. All right, so my thing is like this, right? Now one, we don't know what Puff did for him, right? So he could have done stuff or maybe not. I was listening to somebody else's conversation and they were like, "Yo, if you work for FedEx and then like 20 years later you get sick, should the boss of FedEx give you money?"
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean the boss like your manager, but like the guy. Let's say you knew the guy that owned FedEx, right? And you made him like thousands of dollars delivering stuff. Does he still owe you money?
He only owes you. See, when you're doing a service like that, it's like a service and you get a paycheck. But when you have like publishing and you have masters involved with it, that person at FedEx in that case will still be making money off you regardless,
Right.
even when you're not working. So with that being said, it needs to be better practice just in music in general, not the same with Puff or anybody like that. Because Puff was going through Arista. You know, it could be a lot of different things that's happening that just because Puff's the face don't mean it's really Puff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in that case, no. But in the case of music business, yes, you should be taking care of it. I'm still eating off your catalog now, and you're 50 and I'm 55 or whatever, and you're homeless. Something's wrong with that.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
and the difference I see, I agree with that. The difference I see is like when you're rapping with somebody, like you're like, especially the way Puff is rapping with his artists and stuff like that, you more like a family. You know what I'm saying?
Supposed to be.
Yeah. And that's why like again, I don't know what he did or if he did something. Maybe he gave him 50 G's and Black Rob did something with it that, he wasn't supposed to. I don't know that.
And then Rob did a little bit too. Got caught
Yeah.
up for some
So
like grand larceny, I think, something like that.
So I think that's the difference. If you're not eating at the boss's house or something, like then you're just a worker for him.
But it's the Bad Boy family.
Yeah. So I
You know
think
what I mean?
I think he should have tried to do something. Now, if he did and like he still wasn't getting better or whatever the case is, but I feel like people pour it on with Puff and they may not know the whole story. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. People never know the whole story, but again, it's perception.
Right.
And it's like, yo, if you are who you are, we gonna look at that. So we thinking that you do more. We don't know what you did, like you said. We don't know what someone's doing behind the scenes. We have no idea. But if I see somebody that used to mess with you in a bad situation, and I see you in a great situation, I'm gonna be like, yo, all right, what's up?
Right.
Key thing. And then when I see people around you that's in bad situations that were attached to you, then I'm like, all right, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You start looking at you, even though he could be totally innocent in everything. But I think everyone got a little dirt on him in the music game, so it doesn't really matter. Like someone got something going on. I'm not saying he's pulling on the strings, but he knows stuff.
Yeah. I just hope that if he had an opportunity to help him, he did.
I think he did. I think he would have. I think because of how everything is now with social media, to where like everyone holding your feet to the fire with certain things. So
yeah, even if he was doing it as like an opportunity to like make his name look good,
yeah,
that would have been worth him saying it, I guess. But Black, salute to Black Rob. I'm still thinking about Whoa, like that was just a crazy song to come on at a party or in the whip in the summer.
He was that bridge, man. He was part of that Bad Boy family bridge after Biggie passed.
Yeah,
that really kept Bad Boy afloat. I mean, Mace was there, but then when Mace ran off, remember when Mace ran off, Black Rob was already there. Then Black, I think True Story. Yeah, True Story. G-Dep's in jail right now. You know what I mean? I mean, that's some different stuff, but
on his own.
on his own, yeah, that's crazy. But you got I think True Story came out in '99, I believe, and I think Mace. When did Harlem World come out? '97, like late '97 after Big passed. So like
yeah, it was
late
after Big, probably 97, 98 maybe.
Because I remember Confession of Fire came out in '98.
Okay.
And from Cam, and I remember Harlem World was before, so it had to be like
Let me see if I can find it.
Like December or fourth quarter '97. I'm just assuming. So then Mace had like a 2-year run that he dipped, right? Like around like '99.
Yeah.
Black Rob drops.
So it came out '97.
'97, then Black Rob dropped. Boom. That kept him afloat. And then, No Way Out came out first. But Black Rob was bubbling for like 4 years before his album came out. So that's why his album was so good.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most slept on albums from Bad Boy. Like his album was tough. That debut album. But it's crazy though, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt. I mean, I didn't want to see him in that condition. I'm glad he at least got to say some final words to X, or so that people could actually see him talking, even though he was in bad shape before. So that one wasn't like, we were kind of prepared for that. At least I was once I saw him like that. I'm like, all right, this don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Especially with him only being 51 years old, the way he looked in that vid.
He looked pretty old, man.
Yeah, man. So it's a shame.
24 Hours to Live got a different meaning in that song now.
Facts. Yeah, man. Yeah, yep. All right, so DMX, man.
Crazy.
Rap legend, man.
Icon, yo.
Yeah. Icon. I heard Swiss Beats talked about him, and like he said, like, X had his demons, obviously, with drugs or alcohol, whatever the case is, but it said like this dude would like give you like his last dollar. Like, like even when he didn't have it like that, he would just buy everybody whatever. He always prayed for people. You know what I'm saying? Before he even prayed for himself. Even like, he in the middle of albums, he would drop like a prayer, and that joint would just be powerful.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard something. I think it was Roxanne Shante said this. She has a show on Sirius XM, Rock the Bells.
Yeah.
LL Cool J's channel. And she basically said like, yo, when her and DMX would meet, it was like they call foster kid love, right? And she said, well, the foster kid love is like they will hug each other and like hold each other for a while because they'll think it's the last time they're gonna see each other. Because when you're in the foster kid program, you might not see someone again, right? So when I leave the house or when I leave, I might not see you because I might be in a different home or vice versa. So he said that's why she thinks that's probably why DMX, when he would see people, he would talk to them for a while. It didn't matter if he was an artist or a regular person, he would really chop it up with them because he didn't know if he was going to see you again. So that's why his prayers come in. That's why all this stuff comes from that, though. So they say, God, you don't know who's going to be on the passive messages, right? So you can have demons, doesn't matter, but he was a prophet, I think. Like something he was saying, talking about was crazy. Like he was, his spirit. And I don't think we never see another person like DMX, like rapping, at least in our generation. Like ever,
Yeah. And then, what were your, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. What was your thoughts hearing that the first time?
First time I heard it, it was crazy because, and it's funny, I was talking to Ian about this the other day. Ian, what's up? We remember like, back in the day, it was like 90, 98, and Funk Flex. People call him a dinosaur now, but Flex was the man. Like you couldn't even deny that right back then. But Flex, I was like, freestyling, and it was him, Cannabis, Nori, on the radio at like 10:30, freestyling, and we taped it. Grabbed the tape, put the tape in, and we taped it, and we were listening to it. And he was kicking the intro. It's for the album drop though.
Yeah.
Like Come Through, One Through, Gun Through. Like we didn't know like what it was, but we was following DMX from like The Usual Suspects and stuff like that. So when that album came out, we were ready. Like we were like, all right, this is it. And then the Get At Me Dog came out first, and on the B side was Stop Being Greedy. And I remember hearing Stop Being Greedy and going like, yo, this guy's insane, yo. Like he was flipping his flow like that. I was like, we heard people who have different monikers like Shock G and Humpty. This was different though. It wasn't like that. It was like, he was just like a totally different person, how he was rapping and flowing. So when the album dropped, we just played that. Memorial Day 98, I believe that was. that was everybody's car had that. I don't think
Right.
I ever saw any rap album that anticipated in my life before. You know, like everybody, I don't care where you was from, you playing that album, black, white, Asian, it didn't matter. You had that album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How about you?
First thoughts, I didn't know what to do with it. Like I didn't know. I can't say that I heard it at first and I was like, yo, this
Oh,
is
really?
like, I didn't think it was whack either though. I was just kind of
It
like,
was just different.
it was so different. Like I didn't know what to do with it. Right. But then it took me like, it kept being played and played, obviously. All my friends played it,
Yeah.
things like that. And then like, I mean, it's a top 20 album for me now, you know what I'm saying? Something we spoke about episodes
Definitely.
ago. But it was just dope, man. I think I had to get used to it just being different. He wasn't like a punchline spitter. Like, he wasn't like I mean, I guess he was a storyteller. He had Damien and
Yeah.
how's it going down, stuff like that. But yeah, man, and I know, and then he dropped the other one. I know you're not a huge fan of the second one, but but then he got slipping on there. He got
Yeah, no,
Blackout.
he got some joints on there. And I think my thing with X at the time was that I was such an X fan from like I guess like 97. And I was hearing so much X from 24 Hours to Live to like I say Usual Suspects to KFC to Pull It with Cam. Like I was hearing DMX so much that I was like, all right. So after the first album dropped, loved it. And the second album came, I thought it was mad quick. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
this is mad quick. And it was kind of like it was being pushed at me. It was different. So I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go against that. Not against like not saying I don't like it, but I'm gonna look at something else. You know what I'm saying? Just because like I already know what this is. I've been on it. And with X, you had to be in that type of time. Like, you know what I'm saying? You really had to be in that type of time because he was so deep. If you wasn't on that time, it was just gonna go over your head. You wasn't gonna listen to it like that. So I think that's why my opinion of the second album was like that from the first. Because I think I was on that type of time at the time when that dropped, and I was kind of like, all right, got some joints, but I'm good.
Yeah, you need to get back on that time then, because that album is crazy.
Yeah, but then when he dropped, when the Rough Riders compilations came out, you know what I'm saying? And then, but I was always an X fan, but it just was, I just fell back from the album. You know what I'm saying? Then like honestly, I didn't even hear the rest of his albums. I heard bits and pieces, never heard it in its totality.
Yeah.
Ever since the second joint, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. But he's an icon though, so you always respect him. You always loved his music. I think he's the closest thing that I never will compare them to, but he reminded me of Pac because of his emotions and his rhymes. Like, not saying,
that's fair.
Yeah, not saying they rap about the same stuff and none of that stuff, but just the way he put his pain in his music, and you felt it. Like, you might not understood everything that he was saying, but you understood, like, yo, this guy's bearing his soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You sitting there crying on stage, you doing certain things, and I think he let, like Pac did, he let people be vulnerable and they be cool.
And he let people in too.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I know you hip hop healthcare. I know you did a little digging on that. What you got?
Yo, this is something that's gotta be figured out. All right. So you look at SAG members, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actors. People don't know what SAG is. I'm not sure what the acronym actually stands for, but
Screen Actors Guild.
Screen Actors Guild, right? I'm sorry, Screen Actors Guild. But they have certain things that's just set in stone. Once you're a SAG member, and I think all you really have to do, if I'm not mistaken, is have like a role where you have a speaking part in the role, right?
Or you can, or I'm pretty sure if you're an extra in a certain amount of movies, I don't know what level it has to be, but a certain amount of movies or shows, you can get it too.
You get it, right? So when they get this, right, and I looked it up, and I'm paraphrasing because there's so many things that they get healthcare, they get rent stipends. So if something happens and they can't pay their mortgage, they get up to like a year, I believe, or something to that effect. But they get things that are put in place for them. You know what I'm saying? And these are people that aren't even making what the hip hop artists bring into the record label.
Right.
These are people that they're actually paying for their work, right?
Yeah.
So if you're an extra, you might get $500 a day or $1,000 a day for something, and you
It
already
depends on what you're doing, too,
on
or
what
what
you're
show it
doing.
is, or the movie.
Exactly, but I'm just saying you don't have to be a key figure in this game to get that, right? So you think in hip hop, and I think the Grammys have some. The Grammys have some type of thing that they offer musicians that not a lot of people know about, where you can get like mental health stuff and stuff like that. I'm not sure about that, but I'm talking about strictly about like hip hop and like these big labels, like the Interscopes and things like that. It should be something that's put in there. I don't know how it starts, but it should be something when you sign a contract, and it should be done by tenure, like you do anything else, right? So you should build up a certain amount of cachet, I would say, with a company, right? So if you're a one and done, all right, your benefits won't be the same as someone that's 20-year vet there.
Yeah,
right?
It's just like having a real job. Yeah,
like real job. That's what I'm saying. So if you bring in this and you're there for a certain amount of years, you should automatically have healthcare. Automatically have your healthcare in there, right? Automatically have some type of pension, some type of something that's going. Now, you could do it yourself, of course, but rappers aren't thinking about 401k. If you sign an 18-year-old kid, he ain't thinking about that. He thinking about give me the bag now. He gonna spend the bag pretty much. If he doesn't have a right advisor, they don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Meaning the record, I'm paying you the money. So I think it has to be something that's built into a contract where it's like you get that, and then for like if you're a certain age, if you're 45, 50, you should be grandfathered in, right? So in Black Rob's case, right? I'm not sure how long he was doing Bad Boy or who the parent company was at the time, right? I'm not sure how long he was, but it should be a fun for him there. And I don't think it's a responsibility for other rappers, though. I think it's the music business.
Do you think it should be for people that just are on labels, though? Like, how do you treat that in an independent situation?
Yeah, I think it should be. I think anybody else on that label should get healthcare.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Because it's having a job. It's having a job. You know what I mean?
I wonder if some do that. Like, I'm sure.
I don't think. I heard like pretty much. You give you the bag. Healthcare is on your own. You getting Cobra or whatever.
Cobra.
You paying out of pocket for whatever. You gotta get your own legal fees. Of course, you gotta get your own lawyer, like as you know, if you don't want to get jerked. But
all right, so
on your own.
Do you think? I mean, I agree with it. Do you think it should extend when you're not on the label though? Like if you work at, okay,
it goes to another label. So basically, if you going to go the independent route, then you got to do independent stuff. It's like being 1099 employee.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
You got to do your own thing if you want independent. So that's all.
So you're saying hip hop, I mean, healthcare should be provided as long as you're with the label.
As long as you're with the label. Yep. And it should go based on tenure too, as well. What other perks that come along with being an employer. Because you're bringing all this cash in. Like think about your biggest run. It's like realistically, right? You got a 4-year run.
Yep.
You popping. Now let's throw somebody out there like Nelly, right? Nelly had a hell of a run, right? Went diamond. So dude went diamond doing all this thing. I'm not sure what's going on now with him. I'm pretty sure he's good, but I'm just saying him in general, someone like him. He should, when he signs his contract, healthcare should be included with that. So he shouldn't have to worry about if he got sick, God forbid, or if he got hurt or something like that. And that's the smallest thing. Like, I know we want to look big, but healthcare is the simplest thing. Like the Affordable Healthcare Act, people wanted, the point is to get people healthcare.
Yeah,
so
and it's simple. And it's expensive, but like if a school district can pay it, Bad Boy can pay it.
That's what I'm saying. So now you hear what I'm saying? Like if a school district can pay it, or PSC&G can pay it, or Con Ed can pay it, you telling me
Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop can pay it. You got all the places to give you health care, but you telling me Interscope can't give you health care? That's what I'm saying.
Now I'm wondering if they do though. Like I know if you work for Interscope, I'm sure you get health care. Like if you like
of course
executive or something like that, I wonder.
Because and I hope if someone's watching this, if they know the ins and outs, please comment and let us know. But it appears if you're the receptionist at Interscope, or if you're in marketing at Interscope, I'm pretty sure you got healthcare because you're a quote unquote employee of the company. If I sign a record deal, I'm an employee of the record company. I can't just leave there without fulfilling my contract, right? So they have me by my feet. I can't go anywhere. But you're not offering me healthcare. Like, so I don't care if you're giving me I got a 360 deal. Like, you jerking me anyway, right?
Yeah, you
So
can't. I don't even own my likeness.
I want my likeness. I got to fight for my masters. You telling me you can't just give me you can't give me healthcare? Like I got to come out my pocket like a crazy copay. You know,
Yeah,
if my family, if I have a family, if I have kids that get sick, you know what I'm saying? Like little
right.
things like that. That's what I'm
Did
saying.
you? I don't know if you heard on Drink Champs when Cam was on there. Did you hear what he said about how you get your masters?
Oh yeah, by redoing it.
Yeah, but it's a difficult process, especially if you're dealing with samples.
Producers and samples. Yeah,
Yeah,
it gets like if you have the bread to do it though, like that's why you see things. And I noticed that too a couple years ago where it says remastered, right?
mm-hmm.
You always wonder like, yo, what does that really truly mean? At first, I thought remastered mean like better quality. This one I was like, it's probably like 10 years ago. I'm like, maybe it
Right.
means better quality.
That's what
Then
I
I'm
thought
like,
too.
nah, it ain't better quality. It's still taking the same songs, going to the studio. That artist is still alive, God willing, and he or she re-recording it, the music, and then they own that part, and then they can in turn sell that to movies and things like that, and it's going right to them.
But yeah, but they have to do it right from where it is. So like you can't like the hard CDs, or if someone wanted to get vinyl or all that, that would still go to the company.
Yeah, it has to be like streaming.
Yeah, that's a lot
And
of
that's
work though.
why, but it's kind of worth it though. You got the bag for it.
If you got the bag, yeah, because like if you got a sample from like I don't know Teddy Pendergrass, like you know what I'm saying, Interscope could get to his God rest his soul, so his kids quicker than you can.
We're like, nah, don't play that. Yeah, we good.
Yeah, like they'll clear it with Interscope, but they might not clear it with you
Yes,
know.
that's a dirty game.
Yeah, man. Yep.
But with all that being said, healthcare. That's all it got to be. Like
All
little
right.
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Assuming that's not the case, man, I think that's a quick fix. So,
Word. It should be, but it won't be.
all right. So, Chauvin trial. I want to stop
Yes.
calling it the George Floyd trial. George Floyd was not on trial. George Floyd did not kill anybody. George Floyd was killed. Let's be clear.
Pretty much.
All right. So, in a vacuum, I thought that he would be guilty, just in a vacuum now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a black man in America, things are just different, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting him to have the verdict that quickly. I thought it was gonna push at least towards the end of the week. I think that was pretty much what they were expecting to happen. And then I got home from work, and they were just kind of like, the verdict is in. Like, then it's like I think that happened like around 3:30. So I had a pit in my stomach. I had like a pit in my stomach for like an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? And I know all signs pointed to, they didn't ask the judge any questions, which means like they didn't need clarity on anything.
They were good.
So I'm like, all right, well, and even the people on like CNN, they're just kind of like, normally that means, but Don Lemon and my man Van Jones, they were kind of talking about it. And I was just kind of like, all right, well, you can't make a decision of somebody to be not guilty that quickly when it's filmed. Now, had it gone on for like a week, I'm like, all right, what are they really looking into? You know what I'm saying? They asking mad questions like, yo, you trying to really get this guy off?
Like, what's going on? Yeah.
So I did think that all signs pointed toward that, but like until I heard it, I really wasn't. I didn't really feel good about it. And then like they go back and they're like, well, in another case, O.J. Simpson they only deliberated for 4 hours. I'm like, all right now. You know what I'm saying?
The juice got loose.
But I didn't feel good. I mean, I was at a point, and this is bad. I just wanted like at least one guilty. Like that's kind of, I was willing to settle for that. You know what I'm saying? Just like, yo, get this guy in jail for something. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought it would happen, but I just needed to hear it.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting take on it, because like with me, I mean, I think we were communicating. So when you said that they were about to do it, I was like, all right, let me tap in. But he had a nervousness to it. But it wasn't. I expected the verdict, right? But I wasn't like happy, y'all, and like enthused and like jumping around and like crying. And, like, I mean, I know I get it, but I wasn't doing that because he ain't coming back. Like,
Yeah.
like, no matter what happens, he was killed, right? So my thing is all right, we get that, but when we get some laws change, because that's what it comes down to. Because right after that, you got to worry about the Dante Rice stuff is coming up. Every case is different, of course. And then the young girl that was killed in Columbus, Ohio, that popped up. And then I think I heard about another black man who was shot today in North Carolina. That popped up. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, all right, you get this because it was. I don't think we should be happy about something that was so blatantly obvious.
Yeah,
right?
I think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm more happy for like the family.
Family, yeah, of course, yeah, family.
And I'm happy because I felt like it was the first time it ever happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame. I said in the group chat, it's a shame that we even have to be happy for that. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm like, yo, if it makes one person or one officer think twice now, because like even the way he looked, you know what I'm saying? My man Kev on stage, Kev on stage.
Well,
He does like he's on the internet.
okay.
He does like the skits. So he had the picture of like Chauvin in the courtroom. And he was like, yo, he's looking like, yo, I'm white. What happened?
What's going on? Yo, it's crazy. And this is why I've been saying to people, like, we have to watch what we consume, meaning media, right? So watch what we see on TV, watch what we hear. Because I think a lot of times that jades a lot of different things, right? So you get a lot of different things that come at you and or how you should be feeling this way. You should be ecstatic about this, or you should, like look over here, but the stuff is really going on over there, type of thing, right? So I've been kind of doing tunnel vision with that stuff. So like for the case, but I didn't watch any of the trials.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of it either.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't watch
I caught some of it here and there.
I didn't listen to any pundits talk about it. I'm like, yo, I know what it is. We're gonna see what happens that day. You know what I'm saying? So until they gave the verdict, it's the first time I actually even saw him in the courtroom. I didn't watch anything on purpose, and then I even stopped following stuff on social media, people on social media on purpose, not because they weren't saying good things. It's just because I didn't want to be all consumed with what they were talking about, because my timeline would be just all that.
Right.
All that. I'm like, yo, I don't want to see that all day. But then it was always certain opinions. I didn't see any negative opinions about anything, but it was always like seeing one-sided about everything. So when you watch some stuff, they force stuff at you. Even some of your friends, people you cool with, people might follow that you're not cool with. It's just too much. So that's kind of why I wasn't surprised at the verdict. I'm happy for the family, but we still need some laws changed because it's a way of policing that needs to change. You know what I'm saying? And like, not every cop is bad. Not every cop is is racist. We know that. We're not stupid, but we know some things have to change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like you gotta change it, man.
Yeah, and I'm glad Biden spoke up about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing with his policies and all that. I'm not following all that, but to have somebody in office that's going to say like blacks are being treated wrong, we need to do better, was a start for me.
Yeah, like we said before, it's always we have so much to go. So this is like a marathon with everything. Like this is like a little win, which is great, but we gotta keep building off that momentum. And shout out to all the people that protested, the athletes, everybody that did it, because they helped this verdict. Because I think and I saw this today on First Things First. I think it was Chris Broussard, my man, is always yelling. My man. Mm-hmm. He said something like, he thinks the fact that we as African Americans are such great athletes is why we get listened to. If we were not great athletes, no one would care what we had to say. Mm-hmm. And which is a good point why sports plays a part in certain things, right? So you have like your LeBron speaking out, your people like that, people just listen to them. Yeah. So I think that helped. And I'm not saying that you should listen to them because I think you have your own mind, but people do. They follow what they say.
Yep.
And I think, well, like even Colin Kaepernick taking that knee, when he did that 4 or 5 years ago, it all propelled to this verdict here. Because I think if we didn't have that push, it would have been not guilty.
Right.
Because people wouldn't have saw, the plight of what we've been talking about for years. They would have saw it, but they wouldn't even have the courage to speak up about it. And I don't mean people like us. I mean other people. I mean, white, Asian, whoever speaking up. So this isn't right. And I think that all played a part.
All right. Well, glad that worked out.
Or don't drop the soap.
Right. and just to think, all you had to do is not kneel on his neck for minutes, and you would be home right now.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing where it's like,
was it really worth it?
No, and he knows it wasn't worth it.
Well, now he does.
Saying? But you can't take things like that back. Like, and I tell people, like, yo, you have situations that every situation is different. And I tell everybody to. That's why I talk about consuming. Like, watch what you consume. Really do your research before you jump to conclusions about anything.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what happened, so we can't look at every cop shooting the same way. We just can't. You can't do it. You gotta see, all right, what's going on? What happened? Blah 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 blah. Let it play out, and then do it. When you have everyone feeding you certain things, you have it one side think it's always that one way. You know what I mean? And then when we do that, if we wrong, we look stupid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Meaning us as black males especially. You know what I'm saying? So
gotta do your Googles.
Man. Gotta do your Googles on everything. and chill out.
All right, so that worked out. All right, so we got Snowfall, man.
Yeah.
Depending on how it ends, I mean, I think it cracked the top 10 for me, especially after last week, man. I think that was probably, I'm gonna say that episode and the episode when he got rid of Andre on my top two.
Damn, caught Andre slipping at the kitchen table.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I think last week I wasn't expecting all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't either.
I like I hear people like people love like, yo, Franklin soft or what. Like, I mean, he does what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, I saw someone on the Snowfall page talking about Franklin can't fight. Like, yo, first of all,
I saw that too. Who cares? He can shoot you.
It was funny, but it was just like he's smarter than you. He clearly wasn't trying to fight to win a fight just now. Yeah. Like, you fighting Jerome, he can't beat Jerome at full strength.
For real. The crazy part about people that say that, I laugh too. It's like, yo, what is your prototypical drug dealer? Do you think it's this dude that's just strong beating up everybody? No,
everybody's not Tookie.
For real. Everyone's not, and most likely he's not the one running stuff.
Yeah.
There's someone over him telling him what to do. Like, so people don't realize. So I think when they see somebody like Franklin, like, yo, small, now he got the cane. You feel me? So I think that cane brings a little more. I think that's why I keep him with the cane all season, because it showed people that you don't have to be physically strong. It's all about up top.
Yeah.
So he's mentally stronger than everybody.
Right.
And I think that's just people just being naive to what a quote unquote kingpin looks like. You know
well, the episode's gonna air by the time we release this, but what I think is gonna happen is I think people are looking for like it to have more action than the last week. Like, the action you want from the finale already happened. Like, you're not getting that again.
This is just setting it up for the next season.
They're setting it up for next season. So, like, I always, like, when some people are disappointed with a finale, like, as long as there's another season coming, I always see it episode 48 of 60. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think what's gonna happen is I think it's gonna set up where Franklin sides with his dad somehow. Either he allows him to escape wherever he's gonna go, and I think it's gonna end with it being like Franklin versus Teddy somehow.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like it's gonna end somehow that way.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think like even becoming attractions when he said like, yo, you afraid of him? He was like, yeah, you should be too.
Yeah, Reed Cole, man.
Reed Cole boy.
Are you afraid of him? Yes.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? He's a trained killer.
Yeah, man.
I think Alton. Alton's gonna try to clip Reed. Alton's gonna get clipped because his storylines don't need. I'm thinking about like when I watch these shows, I watch like a writer. So I go, okay, all right. Has so and so played their part? What is it left for them to do?
Like, did this person max out yet?
He maxed out. Alton maxed out to me because he maxed out when he went to the reporter, and now
she's gone. Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, do we really need his character anymore? Him and Sissy ain't seeing eye to eye. He kind of out there by himself, you know. So I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna confront Reed. Reed gonna pop him, or somehow he's gonna get popped, and then it's gonna be Franklin against Reed. And then I think it's gonna be that's what's gonna be all next season. So Franklin's gonna, and they both smart as hell, right? And I think a few things gonna happen. I think Jerome gonna die
next season.
Okay. Well, yeah, not tomorrow or anything like that. I mean tonight for the finale. But I think he's gonna die because you can't have it be like a perfect story, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have, they're doing this stuff, they're selling drugs, they're doing all this stuff, they're doing all this harm to the community. So people gotta start dying. And no one in Franklin's immediate team has got touched in 4 years. Except for Kev, which he did. But Leon hasn't gotten touched like that. Louis got shot this season, but she's gonna survive, pretty sure. Mom hasn't gotten touched, right? And his mom and his father hasn't gotten touched at all, which is like a rarity. You know what I'm saying?
For 4 seasons, definitely.
4 seasons. So I feel that Rome going to catch it. Maybe Rome and Louis, because I think they have a show that's going to happen in Little Rock. I think
I need that
in Little Rock.
I need them to go back there. Like I felt that's one part I feel like I didn't love. I thought they should have served because it kind of led us to believe like, all right, they're gonna go back there. Like we need to see them fall off because that's what's bound to happen. Yeah,
maybe that's next year.
Yeah, I hope they circle back at some point.
And which is why I think that Louis, she might get killed dealing with that stuff down there. Like because I think them going back down there because she lit the fire there.
Yeah.
So it's only right that the person that brings the drugs down there, something happens to that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but as far as the finale, man, I see all catching the hot ones.
Think so?
Yeah, because it's like no need for his character no more, man. Like,
yeah, I think so. I think he gets away. You know, I think when we watch TV shows, and it's only TV shows, we tend to like root for. Like we were mad when Alton told the reporter that, right?
Oh yeah, root for the bad guy.
Yeah, it's just part of it. But again, somebody put like, a thoughtful status up about like, yo, you got to really see Alton's side because it's one thing like, all right, I want to get my family out of this. You got to remember, he still got like the Panthers mentality, right? And once he saw, once he saw the CIA wasn't involved, you know what I'm saying? He still, now you're talking about like the Fred Hampton stuff and all this stuff. I think that's what they were trying to show. So I get that part of why he did it. I don't think he should have, but
all right, trying to show like, oh, he's so down for the cause, and he hates the CIA because of what they did to the
past actions.
Past actions. He gonna try to bring them down, even though that means his family might get killed.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good decision. I understand what he was doing though.
Yo, how you gonna make a decision like that without talking to your wife? Yo? Like, yeah. I told the report, like, why would you do that? Give me a heads up first. Like, let me know you're going to do this. Don't just go to the reporter and tell all our business.
Yeah, crazy, man. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely going to catch that. Yeah, should be a good finale. So I guess music, what you listening to, what you looking forward to. I got a couple of joints down.
Right now, I mean, that Conway joint, listen to that one.
What do you think about it?
Lama Kenya, right? I think it's all right, man. I think it's what I expect. You know what I'm saying? It's what I expect. So I wasn't high or low on it. It's just like right what I expect from Conway. You know what I'm saying? I think Conway has earned that respect as an artist that you just like, yo, you know what you're gonna get, and he doesn't disappoint me, like, you know what I'm saying, ever. But I think, like, you know, From King to God was great. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, I think he's gonna be chasing that album just because of how good it was. But I think it was a good listen. You know what I'm saying? And then like I said, I heard that, listen to old stuff again, bringing up like once X and Black Rob passed, man. I really been listening to like their catalogs and listening to their stuff, and you know, just going back and coming up like Murdergram and yeah, that would have been a crazy group with DMX,
John and Hov.
And Hov, man, like people forget about that, like, and that's why I be getting so mad when I think about the whole stuff. I'm like, yo, this is the whole album, like, yo, this Hov is crazy, and it's one of those things that I think people forget how crazy Hov was. Hov is really, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's really man.
Yeah. So the Conway, I thought it started off great. It ended, I would say, like the last 3 or 4 songs I didn't like, just like songs I don't need to listen to again. I mean, I give it a 7. From King to God, you know, solid 9. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of those things you can't, you know what it is, man.
Carday coming out tomorrow. He dropping the EP.
Well, yeah, why he dropped the YBN?
I think he had some issues with some of the dudes. He had a whole group of them dudes where they were all YBN something.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I think it was his way to. He's dropping the EP on tomorrow, 22nd. I think it's like a 4-song. He got his first song got Q-Tip on there. But I like Carday, man. A lot of like, you know, I don't say like legends, but a lot of established artists in our age do music with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got a crazy song, Anderson .Paak. I don't know if you ever heard that joint.
Yeah. Which one?
It's on Carday album, the first album.
It's the what's them call it? Like they round back and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, joint's crazy. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Rich End Problems, I think, something like that.
Yeah. That joint hard, yeah.
It is hard. It's tough.
He got a cool joint with Push. Meek weird, but he got a dope joint with Meek Mill on that joint. Meek.
You said Meek weird?
Online he is, yeah.
What's going on with Meek? I haven't really followed dude.
I don't know. It's like he always getting dragged on Twitter for something, like some type of take or just doing something. I know one time he was with, you know, one of the dudes. I think one of the dudes that have stake in the Sixers.
Yeah.
And he had Meek bunny hopping on the court. I'm like, come on, man, what's going on here? I think he lost the bet or something, and then he was just like,
your social media gonna kill people, man.
Yeah, but you know, I like a lot of Meek old stuff. I haven't heard anything. Again, if he drops something, I'm gonna listen. I usually like him as an artist, but you know, him and Game, they always doing something crazy.
You already know about that.
Sky Zoo got a
he got his album coming out like
he got a joint
soon, right?
June I think. Ransom got the album 7 that's supposed to be coming out soon with the 7 Deadly Sins. Shout out to Flame On, because she definitely had an album with that concept already. So yeah. Shout out to her. So you got that. And then Ransom said he got a project coming out with fully produced by Pete Rock too.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw post that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I think that's gonna be dope. And then he's supposed to be working on another tape with my boy RJ Payne. So some rock with that.
A whole CD, a whole tape. That's a CD.
Yeah, I think they got I think they probably got like a EP, something like, I don't know, 4 to 6 songs, something like that.
Yeah, it was funny. Yo, you know how we always talk about like EPs and stuff like that, so versus like regular albums, right? So I was talking to Keish yesterday, and we was talking about something. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna front. I don't listen to a whole album with nobody. Like, it's hard for me to do that. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't really, like, it's been years. I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, like, I heard like Rand's joint. I hear people's albums, but it's hard. Like, if I really rock with you, to hear you for like 15 songs, I gotta really rock with you.
Right.
I said now, like, I can't do it. Even back in the day, I really couldn't do it that much. So I said it's perfect to have EPs.
Yeah, man.
Like, for me. So I'm like, I only need like 8 to 9 songs from one person.
Yeah,
And then I'm good.
Microwave era. And then Abel, who dropping an album every month this year, so
Yeah,
he'll be out. I mean, he literally just did an album in 6 days, 10 songs too. So and then
that dude working like Pac.
Yeah, man. And then me and Abel album dropping on the 23rd. So EP.
I'm telling you,
quick.
Yo, EP is the way to go.
Yeah, quick.
I mean, you know,
quick 5-pack, like 14 minutes long.
Yo, let's say something funny, yo. Before we get out of here. Yeah, I heard Flex say something that had me rolling one day. I think he was on like $1 million worth of game. And he was like, yo, keep it real. He's like, yo, if you're 40 years old, yo, just put an EP out. Right? And everybody was like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, nah. What can you really talk about in more than 8 songs? Because you are living your life, right? You're at a certain age of your life. He's like, yo, you can't make 16 tracks like that.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. And I was like, yo, that's right on point, yo. Like, you can't. So, and you realize that too. Who has had the last like full length true album that was that was I want to say of our age?
Conway from King to God.
Conway, right?
Yeah, I think he had like 13, 14 on there.
Even that's not that bad though. Compared, remember back in the day, like 16.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The Black Rob joint had 21.
Yeah, I even think now. A LP, I think an LP should be 10, 11 tops. But here's the thing with the 10 songs, right? Nobody does a third verse anymore. So all the songs now are like 3 minutes. So you could do a 10-song album in 35 minutes. That's a drive to work for some people.
Yeah.
That's a cleaning in the house. But like these dudes used to have like 21 songs. All the songs are like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And then you got like two features. Those songs 6 minutes each.
Yo, imagine if on 4, 3, 2, 1 you only had like 2 verses. Yo, that's one of the greatest songs. Yo,
yeah,
it'd be a problem. Nah, but yeah, you're right though. So I'm an EP dude right now. Thanks Conway.
Yeah,
and Griselda got me on that EP. So Nas was ahead of the game. Nas was ahead of the game with Matt. We had like 9.
Yeah,
I'm like, it was too. Back then, I'm like, yo, this is
too short.
Too short. Yo, this is crazy. Now I'm like, he was smart.
Yeah, I just think it's just a microwave era. Even for people our age, like you know what I'm saying? Just think of like anything you want to know, you can know within seconds.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So I think that all of that transfers, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like fantasy football, when they first started, like they didn't even, they had to wait for the paper the next day to do the scores. Like you didn't even know if you won your game. Like you have an idea.
Terrible.
Like yo, they have 280 or 275 yards, yeah.
That's a big difference.
Absolutely.
That's a couple of points.
Yeah, man.
Gonna chip me.
Word. So, that's all, yo. So we appreciate y'all as normal. Thank you for listening.
Comment. Let us know what you think about a lot of those topics that we touched, man.
Yeah. Catch us on IG at The Great Minds Podcast, Twitter at The Great Minds P1. And thank y'all again.
Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick Devon, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. Panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win. The stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls. That's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than a rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick deserve the merit. All salute. It's more than just a podcast show. It's like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.